Okay, I've started recording and it's live on Facebook. So I wanted to tell you before we start that your question was really important, so important that I've made a change in my book. I've added what I learned by
Mm-hmm.
answering your question. So
Wow.
but you'll find out about that during the slideshow. Okay. Okay, so it's sharing the screen, right?
Your voice is stuck, Miss Karen. I can't hear. Hello?
Oh,
Now
it's
it's better. Yes,
sharing the
no.
screen now, right?
Yeah, it's saying it started screen sharing.
Okay. Welcome to Raising Happy Kids Zoom Show, episode 28, Creating Harmony with the One Rule, When Agreements Fail. During this 1 hour Zoom show, I focus on sharing tips and lessons on the one rule to raising happy kids. Each episode has at least one example of the one rule in action, demonstrating how it helps you raise a happy child. Then we have Q&A and discussion. When I talk about raising happy kids or creating harmony with kids, I bring up the one rule. The one rule equals agreement. Agreement equals harmony. Using the one rule means you find agreement. That's the rule. You find a solution that everyone likes. You've found agreement. You've found harmony. Knowing and following the one rule is all you really need to create harmony between you and your kids. In any situation where there are differences that might lead to conflict between you and your kids, use the one rule. I learned this strategy from 3-year-old children. I was teaching them a complex conflict resolution strategy, actually intended for adults, and they taught me this. So don't think you're in for a rough time. It's simple, it's easy, it's powerful and effective. It works if you use it. Last week, I was asked a question by Batool Kazmi, the Asian representative of Happy Kids Co. What is good to do when agreements fail? When someone has agreed to something, but they do not do what they agreed to do. I said I would cover this during today's Zoom show. It was suggested that the other people involved in the agreement would lose faith in that person and not want to trust them anymore. What might be good to do when your first reaction is to not trust that person? I guess one question to ask yourself, if you are the person who feels like not trusting, do I want harmony with this person? If it's your child, I'm sure you would answer yes. Creating harmony is the role of the one rule. The simplest thing to do might be to forgive them for not doing what they agreed to do and suggest that together you find another solution that you both like. Remember, you are not expected to agree to something that does not please you. No one is supposed to do that. That would almost guarantee that you could not find harmony. You might want to find out what went wrong, why they did not keep to the agreement, but it is not necessary. All that is essential is that you all try again. It's just like learning anything new. At first, you may not be 100% successful. You might make a mistake or even several mistakes. It may take many tries to get really good at this new skill, especially if finding harmonious solutions has not been the practice. It can help to know that if someone has broken trust by not following through on what they agreed to do, together you can rebuild that trust. It might not be as easy as if they had done what they agreed to do in the first place, but that trust can be rebuilt. So if your child has not done what they agreed to do, please do not give in to the temptation to stop trusting them. Just come to a new solution that everyone involved likes. If you can all agree with this, this might be the fastest path to harmony. Remember your commitment, your inner agreement to follow the one rule. It is just one rule to keep in mind, to remind yourself. I want to follow the one rule. I want to find harmony with my kids. It didn't work this time, so we'll have to make a new agreement. I'm sure we can do this. Think of how it feels to find agreement within yourself. Whenever you make an agreeable decision, like agreeing to follow the one rule, or remember the times you came to agreement with someone else. It felt good, right? And it feels good to think about it, right? Once you and your kids are successful at finding agreement, and when everyone does their part, that is going to feel very good also. That is great motivation to continue. The important thing is that harmony is found and maintained. How you decide to do this is not as important as the fact that what you decide to do, the solution you all come to, is something that everyone involved likes and agrees to because they like it. That is the essence of the one rule. Here is something I have just added to the training on the one rule in the book, The One Rule to Raising Happy Kids. It helps to agree and decide that if anyone changes their mind about the agreement they made, as soon as possible, they let the people they made the agreement with know, and then they can all decide what to do, even make a new agreement. Now, if you are the one who has not done what you agreed to do, you can restore the faith your kids have in you and your word. First, I think it is most helpful if you forgive yourself for not doing what you agreed to do. Perhaps that is not an issue with you, but just make sure you forgive yourself. Believing in yourself is essential for inner harmony. Maybe you agreed to do something that you really did not want to do, so you ended up not doing it. Maybe you wanted to do it, but there were outer circumstances that prevented it, that were beyond your control. Maybe after you made the agreement, you decided you did not really want to do this, but you did not tell your kids and make a new agreement. You just ended up not doing what you had agreed to do. Since creating harmony between you and your kids is the goal, it can help if you understand why you did not do what you agreed to do. You may not need to explain it, but it might help if you do. It is a good idea that before you make any new agreements, you all agree that if for any reason anyone is not going to do what they agree to do, as soon as possible, they will let the others know so that you can all change the agreement. This is a foundational agreement. Now, to restore the belief your kids have in you and what you agree to, the most important thing to do once you have made this foundational agreement is to stick to your agreements. You do this by making sure you really agree with the solution, and if something comes up and you need a new agreement, you let them know as soon as possible. I'm glad you're here. Now let's have Q&A and discussion.
Very nice, Miss Karen. It was a very good taking all the slides and giving the information about someone changing their mind. It is also one of the most important point. I never thought about it. That yes, once you change the agreement, you also need to aware others about it.
Right.
This is very good.
I
And
hadn't I hadn't
yes,
thought of people not following the agreement, but yours is the second kind of response that I got to putting out the one rule. When you know when it's something difficult instead of something easy, or when it even doesn't work for whatever reasons. So I've included a little sentence in one of the lessons in the training on the one rule in the book. I've added that, so I thank you for this because
thank you,
I
you
think it
for
will
this.
be
You guide
helpful.
me towards the one route.
Huh?
And Miss Karen, you guided me towards the one rule, basically. Thanks to you. Thanks for all your efforts you are doing. You're bringing the whole world on one platform. It's a very big thing. Just now, when I was reading your slides, I was thinking like an inventor when he thinks about something. For example, when Isaac Newton, he was thinking about it. And then they conclude, do experiments and come to the conclusion. They don't give up. They want to
Right.
find something. Don't give up, right? And
Yeah.
later on, once that finally this theory comes on. So, in a way, this is a theory and I believe no one can challenge this because this is leading towards harmony. That yes, agreement. And the word agreement itself has a vast details inside it. Like what type of agreement, like you said, that what type of different circumstances have different agreements. And one more thing, while it just came in my mind that when we do some agreement, we should be honest with that agreement also. Like suppose if someone said that yes he agree but like he does not do it or does not do his part or
Right.
her part, maybe that agreement result can be affected. And unless
Yes.
they don't confess that yes I did not do my part.
Right. Well,
You got
it
my point what I'm trying to say?
that they need to speak up about not doing their part.
Yes, sincerity. Yes, there should be sincerity with this agreement because agreement is based on when everyone agrees for something. Even if there's a chance of disagreeing for something, they must speak at that time. They should not,
Right.
accept that agreement unless they don't agree. Like it's not that yes, we just need to get out of it. It's a solution basically, and for that we all need to be together on one platform. Suppose sometimes people hesitate. They don't want to speak about it. Maybe they feel less confident
Right.
in speaking. Maybe they will think that people will on their suggestion. I believe they should come out of it. They should speak. At least they did their part. That later on they won't regret. What, like, either it will be accepted or not accepted. But at least they spoke now. The heart will feel light that at least we did our part.
Well,
What do
the
you
one,
think about it?
yeah, I think you can't have the one rule unless people are willing to um, to say what they like or they don't like, because that's the whole thing is based on that. And even though the name, the one rule, is um, it's fairly new in my body of work, but the way it's the concept, the actual doing of it, um, is something that I did for many years without having that name. In those days, I was using the idea of respect, and the power of respect was the term that I used. Um, I think I've mentioned I like the one rule because it's simpler than the concept of respect. I thought respect was pretty straightforward. People understood, most people had an idea of what respect meant to them. And, but I think the one rule is even better, but it's essential that everybody, when they're agreeing to something, that they really inside of themselves agree to it, that they really like the solution. If they don't, they're not going to participate, and it won't be harmony, it won't be wholesome, um, and it'll come out, whether they're unhappy because they are doing something they don't want to do, or whether they don't do it. Like, that today's slideshow was about, your question was about, what about if it doesn't work, if people don't do their part? That's the only way it doesn't work, is if
Yes,
and the first thing of doing your part is participating in finding that solution. It's been my experience that if people, especially between adults and children, especially between parents and children, let's say that, because the love bond is really strong there. So especially between parents and children, there is some solution that they can agree to with uh, uh, an open heart, that uh, there is some solution. And that's been my experience. Even in other situations, sometimes it's taken with adults, it can take a long time to figure out, because, anyway, because, but with children, um, usually they come to agreement really fast. And so if you're working with them, um, chances are you as the adult are going to be the only slowing of the process. The kids are pretty uh, quick to find harmony, and I noticed in the years of doing this that younger children find harmony more quickly than anybody. And uh, I it made me think that way of relating and interacting is maybe what is in our nature, because it's certainly in theirs. Once they realize that they need to find something that works for whoever's involved, um, by that means that whoever's involved likes the solution that's come up with. And that's really important. So people really need to be involved from that level on, from the starting, from, once the solutions come up with, if somebody doesn't feel good about it in any way, they need to speak up, because things can be shifted at that point. Well, at any point, well, just about any point, things can be shifted, but especially at that point, at the finding the solution point. And if you don't speak up, then everybody's going to think that you agree with this. And then if you don't carry through, or if you're unhappy carrying through, that's not the intention of the one rule. The intention is for everyone to be happy with it and do it because you're happy with it.
Can this one rule be classified in like as the solo for one personality? For example, can I ask, for example, let's say I ask you that what is the one rule for you for your success, or one rule for your being a good mother, or one rule, can this be classified like this? Like one rule for being a good teacher, one rule what you think according to your own choice, like according to you, can this be classified like this? Can we ask this one rule for the solo personality separately?
Well, that's the very interesting question, because um, I think that anytime we find agreement, whether it's inside of us or with others, um, you could say we're using the one rule.
Like we don't need for it, right? We need, even one rule will work for one personality even.
Yes, it could, because I mean, I know for myself, things feel better when I have found a harmonious solution to whatever I'm dealing with. So, um, so you could say like that, right? And for me, in terms of when you said teaching, um, because I'm very, well, I guess I really like student-directed education, and that's what I believe most in. I feel that, but when I was working, especially in the public school system, I had to combine that with following the school rules too. So I guess I was using the one rule um, in the teaching that I did. Um, and I think that definitely when I come to a, like, let's say there's some issue in my life that is not clear, or I'm not sure exactly what I want to do, then then the process for me is to find something that I feel, no matter what thoughts I have about it, they come to an agreement. Ah, yes, this feels good. When I think of it this way, when I think of it that way, this feels like a good solution. And so then I'm finding harmony in my life that way. Um, I'm just wondering about, yeah.
Should we attach emotions towards the agreement we make, or attaching emotions will lead us negative consequences, like towards negative consequences? Like emotionally, when we agree something, should we keep our emotions separately, or should our emotions be, oh, it's okay to be emotional with some agreement? What do you think?
Well, I guess I think emotions, this is my thinking these days about emotions, um, that they are indicators for me of either heading in a good direction or not heading in a good direction. And also, well, that's a whole different topic. I was going to say something, but it's a whole different topic. Um, um, so I'm not sure I completely understand your question, because so
I mean to say, suppose if a family takes an agreement, and then their emotions are attached with the agreement, they are too much expecting it. That's emotions basically. They are expecting the feelings of expectation that is considered in the form of emotions. And when they don't get the results, they all become very down, or maybe they lose hope or something. So I was thinking that when we agree to something, we should keep both consequences. We should keep positive, being having positive energies in it, but we should not expect that everything can be 100% done. We should keep a little space, margin in, a little gap in it. Maybe it's okay, whatever we can achieve with this, that is something we should be contented. What I mean to ask is that if suppose some family or someone is following this one rule, and they emotionally attached with it, so do you think so it's a safe side, or maybe it can harm them also? Because sometimes people are very sentimental also, they take it on themselves. They start crying if they lose, because they don't want to lose it. They were expecting 100%, and then it's hard to explain them. They feel that the same thing again comes, failure thing again, in a way. So what
um,
do you suggest? That should we
so
keep it, margin for it, any boundary for it, or not, or just it's okay?
well, that's sort of why I added what I call a foundational agreement. I mean, I may change the name, but
Yes,
right now that's what I called it. And that is
yes,
that
foundation.
when you're doing
Nice
this,
term.
you um, you come to an agreement that if somebody, okay, the agreement is that you're not going to agree to do something or be a certain way or whatever unless it feels good to you. That's the first thing. That's critical to the one rule. And then if you do feel good about it and you do agree to it, then if something happens and you can't do it, or you change your mind, you will let everybody know as soon as possible that this has happened and you need to make a new agreement about a situation. So if this is in place, if everybody understands this, I think it will help with what you're talking about, because everybody will know that that if a change needs to happen, they're all going to know about it as soon as possible.
Okay. Okay.
Does that make
Nicely.
sense to you?
Yeah, yeah. Yes, obviously, that is the same thing which you just made the slide for, and you clearly
Right.
explained it also again. That foundation agreement should be there first. They should, and yes, that foundation agreement will actually do a kind of rehearsal also to
Yes.
keep the things ready, mentally ready for it. That is a good practice, even. And do you think so, Miss Karen, that when we think about the word one rule, when you, even if I suppose if I ask tell some strange person one rule, that this one rule symbolizes unity, basically. Like usually it's a joke
Right.
also that rules are meant to be broken, right? But when you say about one rule basically brings attention, grabs attention. That what is that one rule? For example, if I tell someone, if you want your family to be happy, follow one rule. So they will, think about one rule. What is the one rule? Means there is something special about that one rule. And this one word actually brings unity because one itself shows unity. That
Right.
one, we are together,
Right.
right? So
Yeah.
one rule is very good exercise and a name also a title for this practice. But I wanted to know that is there particularly one rule categorized for all the categories just in a way. For example, we can say generally one rule for a mother is this. Generally rule for a father should be this. Generally, okay, generally. And generally one rule for a child to be happy can be this, or in that they can be categories. Just I'm asking that
Huh.
is this possible?
I don't
Generally to
know.
be happy if you is it possible
It's a good, interesting question. Um,
that generally you are giving solutions to a mother that follow this, or either follow this or follow this. In this, the one rule might be hidden for you. Generally, it's generally because obviously we're not taking that specifically it is this, it's generally we're talking about. That
yes.
average moms follow this rule. So, like say, average moms follow this rule. So, this rule brings happiness. So, this has been tested. So, generally, the one rule term for mom or one rule that can make mothers happy is this. Generally, one rule for a growing daughter or a mom daughter relationship can be this being friends together. For example, that being friends, like not to play the role of a mom now, be a friend to her rather than being a mom. This is example I'm saying. That
Right.
similarly, is it generally any rule for a teacher also that in her teaching she should keep this rule generally? So that will bring happiness to her. Or generally, if a person uh, let's say feels low or like just know about failure, he should do this. Generally, generally word for one rule, is there these categories to help a person to know?
Well, that's very interesting.
Gen-
I think it could be adapted that way. I think it
yes,
could.
generally to come out, for example, generally to come up out of a dispute in a family, these are the solutions that you yourself is giving solutions to them, that
Right.
they can think about it, either this, either that, or maybe any other according to the situation, because unless we don't know the situation, we can. But in general terms, for example, in general terms, brother and sisters are fighting. That happens in every family. They fight, little things on toys, or you took my mobile or you took my iPad, little things.
Right.
That can be generally deal with set timings for both of the brother and the sister. So this is the one rule they can have. that the morning time one day sister can have, and the evening time the brother can have, next day the morning time the brother can have. Just I'm suggesting this thing. Is there
Right.
this we can work on this, like in categorizing this one rule?
That sounds
Just
very,
came in my mind. Again, I'm
yeah. I I think this is something we could do together.
hmm
How would you feel?
general rule diaries.
How would you feel like now you've come up with a number of situations? Um,
I feel very nice.
how would you feel about making a list like that, and then we will see what we can do with it?
Yeah, sure. I will do that on email.
Yeah, when you have the time, because I know you're very
Yeah,
busy these days.
I'll
Right.
do it on Friday weekend. Late night, I'm going to do this.
Okay. That sounds
That
good.
I can, write this. Generally, we can find rule for father, mother, or motherhood, childhood times, something, because it will be interesting also, giving, some suggestions. Or maybe you can have the name General Book Rule Diaries in your own book, in your own site. You can add this General Rule Diaries. Or maybe we can ask others also. Many parents voted for this. You can ask other moms also, what do they do? Keep them, in their family. What is the success of their family? What is the success of happiness in their family? So we'll get to know also that how many moms have voted for this thing, how many moms have voted for that thing. Maybe I'm just saying,
Yeah, that could
I
be
can make that
interesting.
Google. Yeah, I
What?
can make that form on Google. I'll try to do that. First, you go through the email, then resend me the email. Then we can put some suggestions in it, and then we can share with everyone. And let's see how many people can fill that.
Okay.
We'll get a chart, and then we can share that on Facebook also, that when we
Right.
ask about how many, and to moms first, because we have to do it individually. Then to moms first, and the mom's reply was this, that we can send to many people, and they all can fill as many as possible. Maybe we'll get, others opinions as well.
Right. Yeah.
Sarah, maybe Brian, maybe Leslie, or maybe others also. And I'll ask over here as well. Many moms said, what do you think you do to bring peace in your family? What is the best way you keep peace in your family? Yeah, how do you handle your family? What is the key of success in your family? They will think about it, because I know many moms even don't think that what they're doing.
Right.
Then they will actually realize that yes, they're putting efforts in it. They are fine doing this. Because
Right.
I believe inside everyone is special. It's not to be a celebrity, to be someone special. Everyone is special.
Yes.
It's only that they are doing their part, and it's not that everyone can show their work, because celebrities, they work, that's their job. A drama actor or a movie actor, they are getting their pay for it. That's their job. They are
Right.
doing, but along there, they are fathers also, they are mothers also, they are daughters also. They are playing that part also. If we look behind the curtain, their stories are very sad. Their stories are filled with, things and emotions and all. What we see is what they want to show us, because that's their job. But who actually they are, that is a, deep thinking inside. That, sometimes I feel so bad when I see that people are working day and night for shoots. They don't get hardly a time, to rest. Even they are doing so many shoots at a time. I sometimes, when I watch, I really say that we don't know what is their necessity which is bringing them over here. We are just looking at it. Sometimes we easily criticize also, look at
Right.
their act, they're unable, these words. And
Right.
if anyone listens, this is not right. We have no right. If we can't lift someone else up, we should not let them down also. We have no right.
Mm,
What if someone comes at our work? What if someone comes in our house and judge? For example, someone comes and judge, Batul, you're not a good mom. Sorry, you're not doing this. Because obviously that mom will judge according to her mind, her
right.
nature.
Right.
What am I doing? I know better. What are you doing? You know better. So I believe that, there should be unity, love, and desperately we need this one rule. Along with that, recently I saw a scandal in which a lady complained that her husband got married with another girl, and she kept informing that lady actually that it's not safe to marry that man, but she didn't listen. And that lady herself was the second wife.
Aha.
No, so she just requested very nicely one thing, that there should be, unity amongst women also. To listen to each other at least. Like I wrote in that article also, that women should be, supporting, we
Right.
should be
I remember.
supporting each other. We should help each other. We should see, we should not, try to cross them, or we should help each other. If we want growth of the women, if we want women to be strong, why don't we have so many federations for men? Why don't we have so many, shows for men doing for unity? Why only women? Because women need unity.
Hmm.
And why do they need unity? They should ask themselves. Why are we working for it? Why for the rights of the women? Why not for the rights of the men? If we even, count also, we will see that there are less shows for men comparatively women. Why?
That's
And
true.
if we look behind the story, a woman is pulling a woman's leg. It's not the fault of the man. Man's nature is different. You should accept the man's nature. This is how he is. How you are handling as a woman the nature. That is main thing. You should see that if a man is coming to you, is he a husband of someone? Is he father of someone? There are ways to have good relations with everyone. I feel that
Right.
very badly. That as a woman, we should always support a woman, no matter what. I myself always encourage every mom, every lady whom I meet to work. That you should work, you should stand on your own foot. Come on, earn, try to earn something. You can cook food, you can make lunch boxes, give it to the office, whatever. Just try to do work. Stand on your own foot, so that when you stand on your own feet, your husband might think about it. You'll gain respect. Unfortunately, because this world is man oriented society, we have
Right.
filled with, no matter. I have seen that. In the end, when a man says, what have you done, the woman feels low. Because, oh, why is she expecting the appreciation from the man? She should not. But if another woman appreciate a mother-in-law, a mom, a sister, a daughter, that hey, you're doing the good job, even a neighborhood lady, that will really make a difference, that at least someone is noticing my work. Why should we wait for the Valentine's Day? Why should not we give flowers to each other? Why should not we celebrate this thing? Why should not we dedicate a flower to each other? Hey, you work, this is from my side to you, you're doing a great job. Why should we wait specifically? Why should
That's
not we
nice.
appreciate each other? Because of world filled with love with women, because women are the symbol of love. They reflect love. Same way they reflect that enmity also, the same way. But if the love becomes stronger, so we can beat many things. We can create happiness. I'm in a different part, you are in a different part, but still our minds are together. It shows that we have unity inside us. Our thinkings are same. We belong to different culture, we belong to different religion, we belong to different countries, but still our thinkings are same. It means we are not in the same place, we have same women together thinking about it. It's not
Right.
hard. It's not. If two countries, two different cultures, two different religions can unite, then why not the same women? We be together.
Right.
We should support each other. We should, even if a lady is selling a cake, appreciate her. At least we can give her a like. At least we can appreciate her work. Go and thank you, give her a cup of tea or something. Cheer her up. She's doing something. Come on. She's a
Hmm.
woman. She's doing something. To me it means a lot. I remember once, when I was in Dubai, I went to the shopping mall. There I saw a sales girl, and I went to her and I just told her, do you take off? then she told me she doesn't get any off. She has to collect her offs that she can go back to her country and meet her children. I was like, you are living all the way over here to earn money? She said, yes. And I just appreciated her. I feel like I just talked to her that you're doing a great job. I salute you. That living, it's a very big thing, leaving the children and you are over here. Then I met a lady in a saloon. She told me that she's sending the money from here to her family because there's no one. So she's here now. Her daughter has grown, but she can't go. There are maids over there in many places. They're living away from their daughters just to. Women are working very hard, Miss Karen,
Mm,
very hard. And why not we live there? Why don't we ask their stories? Why don't we share their work? Sometimes I feel like crying when I see. It is very hard for a mother to leave her children and
yes.
go all to different part of the world and work day and night, and a husband at home sitting.
Hmm.
This is really, we in a way we see that she's a maid or she's a sales girl, but look at her story. Her story is so sad that if people start working on it, that they will realize how much unity we need in this world. We need supporting each other. Why those women are here?
Right.
Because in their country they're not getting that right. And maybe if women unite together, worldly, globally, this unity comes, then the world has to listen to us.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Like there should be a law. Yeah, there should be a law. Women should not live alone. Give her the permission to have her children with her at least.
Right.
Facilitate at least. If not the husband, but at least the children should be with her till they get, till their mature age. They should be with the mom.
Right.
It's not a
Yeah.
jail or prison.
That's the person that is going to love them in the true, full-hearted way. And that's very important for the children to
Yes,
have that foundation. The
yes, that's
mother,
real.
the mother is going to love them unconditionally, no matter
Yes,
what. And eventually, they have to be able to love themselves that way. But if they don't have that from their mother, it can be very difficult to be able to love yourself and take care of yourself in that way, to love yourself unconditionally. And I think that's why children are born to mothers, and mothers are created to be able to do that, to give that kind of love.
yes, that is something really very deep. And what if those children are deprived of that love just because of money thing? Mothers are working in a different path. They are deprived of that, love in that childhood. Such a sad thing. It's not their fault.
Right.
It's for just the necessity of their moms are, in a different path. Being with the family is totally different, that you're together. No matter how you're struggling, you're together. But when you are apart, it's really very hard, the days and nights. You know,
Right.
God help them. I really pray God help and bring harmony and peace for them. So,
Well, one thing that I'm in the process of doing is setting up an affiliate program for this work so that um, people can earn by sharing it also. So
yeah, you're doing a great job. You're contributing your part. You're doing something to make a difference in the world. This is a very, very
yes,
great thing. You are doing a work to bring harmony in their families and you're
Yes.
working for it day and night. And I'm witness for this. The way you think
Right.
about or your work, your dedication, your love towards that work, that is why it's progressing. It has
Uh,
reached to a different part of the world. It has to me
right.
because of your dedication. It has
Yeah.
reached. See,
Halfway around the
it
world.
has come to,
I
yeah,
think
it has come to
between
me because
us, we can cover the whole world.
yes, two different continents,
Yeah.
and that has reached to me. And the feelings, the vibes has reached to me. It shows the strength of the work, the beauty of that work, the
And
positivity of that work. Wonderful. I love it. I love it, and I respect you from all my heart. The day when Tuesday comes, since morning and from Monday, I start thinking about you. This Miss
uh,
Karen's Rice show is about to start next day. I keep thinking all the time. You're always there in my heart,
wow.
in my brain, the prayers, and that is not because of you. Your positivity has reached to me. God has put that in my heart.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
The good feelings are
And
always
I've,
from God's side.
yes, definitely. That is the
Thank you so
true.
much. And whoever is watching this show, I may suggest them please come and join us. You will love it. The moment 1 hour will change your life. You will
Uh,
feel peace. You have a platform to share your feelings over here. They're there to help. Miss Karen always replies positively, and she doesn't give up unless she does not come to a conclusion. She keeps on asking everyone, whoever is listening to me right now, please, I may suggest you don't miss the show. Try to come on Tuesdays and attend the show and share your feelings. And please help us to spread the word.
right. Yeah. Yeah. I will
It's
be,
live report. Everyone is listening.
huh. Well, I really appreciate your presence, Batool, for a long time.
Thank you so
Even before all
thank
this with the one rule, um, I appreciated that you wanted me to put my newsletter um, on your site. And
Yes, it's always your side. Keep that as your side. You can always share whatever you want to. Keep that as your side,
okay,
Miss Karen.
I've been wondering.
Whatever you want. Yes, whatever it's your side.
Okay, I will do
I'm just
that.
the admin over there. I just because I do actually I've kept the security only because irrelevant things should not be shared from other members. Sometimes they share advertisement of selling clothes,
Ah,
selling, yeah, and yeah, lottery games. So, for that,
yes.
because of that, I just kept security. I need to go through that before approval. But Grants Cons keeps on sharing, and for your site, it's always whenever it will be there, it will be approved. But it's
Okay,
only for those members because we have so many members over there, and they try to, share their things, and I can't take this responsibility. So I
right.
have kept safe for the safety of our members and everyone, only related with children, the content and all.
Okay,
So I have kept, yeah. It's
okay.
your page.
Well,
You share whatever you like. It's your page. It's your group.
thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, welcome.
Okay, then
Okay.
I uh, hope you have a good week
Thank
and
you so much.
that everything goes well. I
Thank
hope
you.
everyone um, gets the feeling of more love in their life.
Amin. Amin. I hope.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you so
See,
much.
my
Okay. Bye bye.
pleasure. Okay.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.